Python now supports an enhanced version of the switch statement, which is called structural pattern matching with the match case syntax. With this new syntax, we can dramatically simplify our Python code, especially the nested if-else code blocks. The patterns in structural pattern matching are very flexible and can consist of sequences, mappings, primitive data types, as well as class instances, which will be demonstrated with simple-to-follow examples in this video. The generic syntax of pattern matching is like this. The match statement evaluates the subject, which is the value after the match keyword, and checks it against the patterns. If a pattern matches, the corresponding action code will be executed, and all remaining ones will be skipped. Note that we don't need to and cannot use the break keyword as in the switch statement in other languages. Let's demonstrate the usage of structural pattern matching with a simple example that handles API errors. As shown in this example, we can convert a simple if-else condition into match case easily. It looks very similar to the switch statement in other programming languages. For this type of use case, it's common to specify the patterns within a num class rather than using magical numbers, which can improve readability and reduce errors. This example is a bit too simple, and we may not be persuaded to use match case as the regular if-else statement seems simple enough. Fair enough, let's check out some more complex examples where match case can be a better fit. In the above example, the patterns are simple literals. Actually, we can match against any data type in structural pattern matching. Let's create a simple function that can print a point with x and y values on the axes. For a given point, which is a tuple with two values, its x and y positions are unpacked and checked against the patterns. If the pattern only contains literals, the x and y values will be compared as they are with the literals. For example, pattern 0, 0 only matches the point whose x is 0 and y is 0. On the other hand, if there are some variables in the pattern, the variables will be bound with the captured values of the input subject, which is a point in this example. For example, if the input tuple is 0, 1, the second pattern will be matched and the variable y will get the value of 1. In this example, the subject is a tuple. It can be more readable to be a named tuple or class, so we can know what is what. Let's use data class and see how it works. Using data classes rather than regular classes saves us the effort of creating the init magical methods. You may argue that a dictionary can also work for this example. Yes, dictionaries will work, and they are actually more suitable in many practical examples. All these examples demonstrate that structural pattern matching is very flexible and can work with various data types. We can add an if clause to a pattern, which is known as a guard. It's only checked if the pattern matches, and after all the pattern variables have been captured and bound. If the guard is false, match goes on to try the next case block. Note that we can have multiple duplicate patterns with different guards. As shown in this example, the same pattern is used 4 times with different guards. It's obviously an overkill in this example, but can be really handy sometimes in practice. It's good to keep it in your routine toolkit. Above, we have introduced the essentials of structural pattern matching in Python, which should be enough for you to get started already. Nonetheless, there are some other interesting features that you may come across in practice from time to time, and will be mentioned briefly with some dummy examples. First, let's check out the patterns. As shown in this example, we can use the pipe to combine multiple patterns. We can also use the as keyword after a pattern to assign the matched value to a new variable. In this example, the code variable would contain the value of 403 or 405 depending on which one is passed in. When the subject is a sequence, we can use wildcards to capture all the remaining items. We can also ignore the rest items by changing *rest to *_. Similar wildcards can be applied to dictionaries, but there is a caveat. Note that unlike sequence patterns, extra keys are simply ignored for dictionaries, which is why it matched for the last example. In this video, we briefly introduced the new structural pattern matching feature in Python with the match case syntax. It's similar to the switch statement in other languages. However, it's much more flexible and powerful and can simplify our code dramatically. At the very least, the deeply nested if-else code blocks can be refactored to improve readability and remove potential errors. This is it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to my channel for more content. As a senior software developer, I'm passionate about sharing my thoughts, tutorials, and solutions to promote best practices in software development. See you in the next video.